Little did Tiger know on a November night in 2009, the Tiger Woods that we all knew would never be again, Skip. He will never, ever be that guy again. And I can't understand why. It's almost like, Skip, is that when he was on prior to 2009, he would go up to the first tee and everybody was looking directly at him. Everybody was in front of the televisions looking at him. They were in awe of what they were about to see. A guy that could drive the ball 300 feet, 300 yards, could put it in the middle of the fairway like someone walked it down there and placed it 100 yards from the pin. And then this happened. And those very eyes that looked at him in amazement and in awe looked at him in disgust and anguish. How could you? For the very first time, they looked at him as being a fraud because you're not what you portrayed yourself to be. You're not the loving husband. I don't question whether or not he was a great dad or anything like that, but I'm just saying from the perspective and the perception, people looked at him in a different light. For the very first time in his life, Tiger Woods wasn't the Tiger Woods, the great golfer. He was an adulterer. And how dare you do this? It was almost like, and people looking at Tiger like, we buy your club, they bought the clubs actually thinking they could hit the ball 300 yards like he could. And they could go to one of these golf courses that he play on and they could shoot 65. It wasn't about the club. It was about they took it personal that he could do what he did. Like he's the only athlete ever, or the only famous person ever to do what he did in the prime of his career. Entertainers, movie stars get divorced in the prime of their career. CEOs, nothing. But it was because of Tiger. And Tiger could not let that go. He could not get that out of his mind. I'm not saying the way he trained, the military type training that he did, Skip.
Navy SEAL.
Right, the running of the mile, the endless miles in Army boots and doing what he did. I'm not saying that didn't speed up the process of his body tearing down. But the one body part that went before his knees and his back and his ankles was his mind. And in that game, I don't play, Skip. I don't even go. Only reason I got started watching golf was because of Tiger. But my brother tells me, he say,
and by the way, your brother is obsessed with golf.
He is obsessed with it, and he's a very good golfer.
He is.
He says, Shannon, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And you're talking about he was a great football player. He played basketball. He ran track. He says there's nothing comparable to it. He says because you can 1 minute, one hole, you can be great, and then the next you'll be 10 over on the next shot. He says nothing is comparable to it. And that's what's happened to Tiger. Once his mind went, the body, the back, the knee, the ankles, the Achilles, nothing else mattered. Because in his mind, in his mind, the one thing that great athletes possess more than anything else, it's not their body, it's not the physicality, it's the mental state. I can block out everything. And you've heard people say when they're getting ready to take the last shot or they're catching or they're throwing the ball, the crowd is silent. Tiger Woods, 10 feet away from people, could block all that out, drive it right down the middle of the fairway, 20-foot putt to win.
Don't miss this. He was the greatest clutch putter we've ever seen. That's how he won those major championships.
And Skip, maybe it was something maybe we could have seen, maybe could have seen this coming. Is that Y.E. Yang walked him down in 2009. And it just so happens.
That was pre-Thanksgiving.
Right.
The big incident.
But maybe this has been, because we had never seen this before, Skip.
Well, he'd never blown a lead after 54 holes of a major championship. And coordination, I'm like, okay, this is about to be number 15. Oh, he's well on his way. So did I. I agree.
And then I'm like, you never heard of Y.E. Yang again? And you only heard of Tiger in name only because he was never the same guy.
Never the same. No. So you're going D-O-N-E done. Like he'll never, ever be remotely Tiger Woods again.
He might win a tournament that he's familiar with, say Bay Hill. He's played so many times. Or maybe goes to Jack tournament, the Memorial. Maybe something like that where he's very, very, very familiar with. He might can win one of those. He's never going to win another major. No way.
I agree with that. I'm not so sure about winning another PGA tournament. and I'll tell you why. Just to frame this for you, I've had my battles over the years with Tiger Woods. He's taken some shots at me. I've taken my shots back in his heyday. But yesterday, truly, from my heart, I felt sorry for this man, because yesterday was a significant shift for Tiger Woods, because he didn't make the usual excuse. My back just hasn't come around, or now my shoulder's bothering my elbow. He's had every injury known to man. Didn't make any physical excuse. He made mental and psychological excuses. Not excuses, he gave those reasons because he's talking about soul searching and honest reflection, and my game is vulnerable. Tiger Woods said publicly in a written statement, my game is vulnerable. It has come to this for the most dominating golfer we've ever seen and maybe ever will see, and certainly the most exciting golfer I've ever seen. Not even close. You can give me Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus, throw them all out. There was nothing like Tiger. And I feel sorry for him because the world keeps clinging to Tiger. Maybe, and here's why. Tiger Woods is trapped in golf's no man's land. Because remember, we once saw a few years back, Tom Watson at age 59, almost 60, almost won the British Open. All he had to do is make 4 on 18, and he chose the wrong club and made 5 and wound up in a playoff with Stuart Singh. Tom Watson almost won the British Open at 60 years of age. Tiger is now 40. Is he a broken golfer? Yeah, you nailed it. Yes, he is. He is as broken as you can get. And we've seen great golfers like a David Duval. I don't know if you remember David, but he rose to #1, did win the British Open, and then he just lost it. We saw Ian Baker Finch, a great golf commentator now, win the British and just lose it because of what your brother keeps telling you. The demons can inflict you so quickly, they can get so deep in your psyche that you just can't figure out how to play again. And I think that's happening to Tiger.